talking about is Sakamoto Days Season 2. Now, nope, I'm wrong. My apologies. I said Sakamoto Days Season 2. I meant Sakamoto Days Part 2. So I'm just going to call it Sakamoto Days because it's Season 1, but still Part 2. So the first couple of episodes for Part 2, right? I think it was episode like 12, 13, 14 because the previous part was only like 11 episodes, which was weird. So I also assumed that this next part will be 11 episodes, which is weird. But these first couple of episodes have actually been really fun. They've actually been really good. And it makes me question, what part of part 1 of Sakamoto did I not like? Because I'm thinking of the first couple of episodes I've watched for Part 2 of Sakamoto Days. And it's all about like the villains and those serial killers at the whatever organization that's going after the JAA. They like broke out and now they're going after the Order and Sakamoto's family, stuff like that. Which he's part of the Order, so you know what's about that. And you know, it's been a really lot of action-packed, like the first couple of episodes. Jeez, the first couple of episodes have actually been like super really packed. It's super really cool. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually having fun. Like, the clairvoyance dude, like, he got a new power. That's awesome. I like the redhead girl who was able to drink the ethanol, and she's like mafia drunk. So her like depending on the alcohol she drinks, she's either like a clumsy but super good fighter, or she turns into just like a maniac. No, I was gonna say mechanical, but mechanical is the wrong word. She turns into a psycho mafia person and like kind of a badass, which also I like her. I personally like her longer hair. She put down her hair for the first time I saw it, and I was like, oh, that's actually like I kind of like that style a lot more. I like the really long hair on her. It was good. Does make her a lot more terrifying as well, because with the bun and the little like bun cap, and it makes it look a bit cuter. But like the long hair makes her look better, but also does make her look a lot more terrifying. And I think I would have to watch more of it and how they go through the rest of the season. But for me personally, right, I think Sakamoto Days action I really like. I do feel like they're putting more motion into things. Like the one fight that I think about in particular is the girl with the briefcase that's part of the Order and the woman who has the spikes coming out of her. I will admit, I really need to know names, but for Sakamoto Days, I'm very bad at it. The only person's name I know is Sakamoto, and the only reason I know it's because it's a name title. But they're fighting, right? And for me personally, I'm looking at that fight, and I really enjoyed it. I think so far, that fight is my favorite fight of the season, just with like the movements and how it goes. And I've always been a defender of the Sakamoto Days animation. I think people were a little bit too harsh. I think people were blowing up that it's bad animation a little bit. And I still stand by that. Sakamoto Days Season 1, it's not badly animated. If we're going to shit on other anime for that type of animation, there's a whole bunch of anime that's come out in the last couple of years that has that same animation that, you know, no one else has talked about. So, you know, people like to nitpick. And I get it. Sakamoto Days came up with a lot more hype. It was one of the mangas that was considered one of like the new shonen to kind of take over the Shonen Jump weekly series. So I get like the expectation for it. But at the same time, I do think a lot of people were very, very harsh on it. With that being said, though, I do think they improved on a lot of things. Or at least it feels like it improved on a lot of things. Maybe I'm just crazy, but I feel like we're getting a lot more like body animation. Like, I will admit, we aren't getting as many of the speed lines as we were back in Season 1. But I feel like the fight with the clairvoyant and the other serial killer, and the fight with the girl with the briefcase from the Order and the girl with the spikes, those two fights in particular, I think were like way better animated than it was before. I don't feel like we got as much animation from those two that we got from the previous ones. And again, I don't think Season 1 was bad, but there definitely was just like some typical animation stuff. But I do think that they're polishing stuff a bit more, and it has made me enjoy the fights a bit more. I will admit that the little effort that they put in to actually just properly animate stuff Well, I mean, when I say I feel like I'm being wishy-washy, but like, again, I don't think it's bad. They're obviously, taking some shortcuts, but I don't think it's bad. And I don't think it's as bad as some people say it are. Like, it is not as bad. It is not as bad as the beginning before the end, because that was atrocious, and it was not as bad as like the majority of Blue Lock season 2. As much as I love that season and I love what they do with everything else, and I already made a review of it on my main channel, you can go check there. I can fully admit that was bad animation, just kind of okay and kind of sometimes really good particle effects. But it has the like little bit of like touch-ups that they've done, a little bit of more movement that they've done has made me enjoy it more. Now, I have been like away for 2 weeks. Like I took not a long break, but I took like a 2-week break. I'm like, I have some shorts that are ready to go out for the next 2 weeks. But other than that, I am not doing shit until like this recording. So I haven't been on Twitter. I haven't been on the anime YouTuber side. So I don't know what the reaction to Sakamoto Days has been. But I haven't seen much commotion, I think, for it. I don't see many people have like really talked bad about this, or either that or people have just accepted it. Like, it was like, oh, it's whatever. People have already said what they said. But other than that, I think the other big part is, while I do think that the action has been better, and I have been enjoying it a lot more, I think I do enjoy Sakamoto Days action, but I don't know if I like the way they do their comedy. And again, I will at some point, I make sure I'm making a big project for the end of the year. So by the time I talk about Sakamoto Days in that video, I will make sure to have at least read some of the manga. But I feel like from adaptation to adaptation, I think the way that they're doing their comedy, or the way that they're doing their character development or storytelling overall, has kind of dwindled since the manga. And that's what it's feeling like to me, and that's kind of the consensus that I've gotten. And I think the action has gotten better for Sakamoto Days. The animation has seen some form of improvement in Sakamoto Days Part 2. I want to see how they're doing a lot of the other character development, because right now it just seems like we're getting a lot of action, given for what type of arc we are, as everyone's just trying to get rid of all these serial killers that are running amok in Japan. But at the same time as well, I feel like the pacing for this has been really, really not great, especially since I think, 2 of the 4 serial killers that were already introduced are now gone. They're not there anymore. So that's why I'm kind of sitting there being like, I thought we were going to spend a lot more time. Maybe we'd see a lot more, in wrestling, we call it 50-50 booking, where, one person would win a match and then another person would win a match. I thought we were going to get a little bit more of that, of like the serial killers going after some of the people and realizing, oh, they're a lot stronger than they think they are, and then they come back and something happens. Like when the clairvoyance assassin was able to get his little upgrade, and we found out that Lin can drink ethanol and become a mafia drunk and have like this power up. But it all kind of happened within the first fight. I do think it was good to have one fight as like an example of like someone's power. For example, the girl with the briefcase. I think that fight was good, where the Sprite girl pulled up on her and there's no either way to say that, she got her ass beaten out of her. She got the brakes beaten off of her, bro, when she tried to stand up to that girl from the Order, and she just got completely and utterly destroyed. She had like a moment where she had to come back, but it was literally nothing. She was just kind of assessing the field, more or less, and then once she figured out everything, she just kind of was like, okay. It's like, okay, cool. I can win this. So that was still a fun fight. It's still my favorite fight of the series so far, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about Sakamoto Days. I feel bad for not liking it more, because I feel like I should, because that mix of comedy and action I do really like. I just think, I don't want to say the comedy is weak, because I want to read the manga before I pass any judgment or I say anything that harsh. But I am getting kind of to that point. I am kind of getting to that point.